The Sega Dreamcast is one of my all-time favorite consoles because it's like an arcade at home. That's the way it felt back in the day, because essentially it was very similar hardware to what Sega was using in the arcades. And there's a lot of cool games for the system. And I've done, quite a few videos over the years talking about the Dreamcast or looking at different products and stuff, including this specific Dreamcast, my ultimate Dreamcast that's modded out. We've got a SSD drive in there instead of a disk drive, the Terra Onion mode in there, DC HDMI mod, so we got HDMI out. And then obviously the most obvious thing is this clear orange shell, which I absolutely love because, yeah, there's so many consoles out there where the shell gets damaged or really aged, and there's only so much you could do. So I appreciate when, companies are putting out replacement shells for systems, especially when they're sticking to the original form factor. I really like that because then you can, bring your console back to life by looks anyway. So I think that's really cool. But today, what I have for you guys is a real quick one concerning VMUs. So I don't have any VMUs that are tore up, in my opinion. I have a few of them that are new, old stock that I'm not going to use till I need them. And then, like a few that look pretty good, like this one, just missing the top cap. I also have the standard colored ones, and they all look fine and function fine. But I have in the past had ones that were really beat up, chipped up, scratched up, dinged, damaged, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it would be nice to have a replacement shell, right? So just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to try to swap the shell on this with one of these guys. So this is a new VMU replacement shell from Video Games New York. These guys are pretty cool. They sent me some samples, not in time to help promote their Kickstarter. They did have a Kickstarter, but now they have these on their website. I'll put a link in the description. I bought from them plenty of times. They got a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, multiple colors. I mean, I have a clear and like a silver one here. Would have been cool to get this like orange one to go with my console, but that's all good. Like I said, I don't really need to do this, but I want to see how easy it is. I've never opened a VMU before, and like see if this is a worthwhile thing for people. So like I said, this was just a little sample. They got like a little 3D printed case to hold them in, I guess. But here we go, silver one. These are like pre-production samples, so it's just going to be the top cap and then the two halves, and then the battery door and D-pad for each one. I'm going to go with the clear one right here, but let's get that top cap off. Bam. And then it should just be the battery door and the D-pad. So set that stuff aside, get this little fella ready to go. So we got to get the batteries out. I mean, it's screwed in, right? Let's get those batteries out. Probably going to need to replace them anyway. So that's fine. I don't think this one was working anymore anyway, as far as the batteries go. My IKEA batteries, trusty IKEA batteries. Anytime I go to IKEA, I buy another pack of these. So I already got a few ready to go. But there's that. No corrosion or anything. I've had some where I've opened up to change the batteries, and oh man, it's all messed up in there. But it should just be these 4 screws on the outside, and then I believe maybe a couple holding the board in. So we'll have to see. This kit doesn't come with like an A and B sleep and mode button, because I believe those are attached to the board in there. But we'll get this thing out, check it out. And there's a speaker stuck to the back right there, so we got to be careful. The little thing making little beeps and boops when this thing is working, when the battery's got some juice. So I'm not sure, like I see the cable going to it, and it looks like it's stuck to this back plastic, and then it's like on the board. So it doesn't look like a very long cable. Got to be careful taking the shell in half. We don't want to rip those cables or anything. See how we did, because yeah, it's like glued or it's probably just a sticker, like yeah, some adhesive on there. So try to do it carefully. Okay, we got it off. Because look at how like little those points are, man. That's easy to break that. So got to be careful there. Where are the screws? Oh, the battery connections. I think that's, yeah, that looks like the last part that's holding it in. The only thing with these shells is that these replacement shells, that they don't have the Dreamcast logo or the sleep and mode printed on them like an original. I'm sure somebody will probably have little stickers or something to slap on there, but I get it. You know, they just want to make a replacement, and they don't want to infringe on anything here. So there's that, the board and everything. And then here's the little membrane. Oh shit, where was that from? What was that? Oh my God. Okay, so there was like a little, what is this little piece? What is this? Well, let's just set that aside. We'll figure it out. So let's get this back in here in the new shell. Oh wait, we can't do that yet. We got to put the D-pad in. The little tiny ass D-pad. And then we could put the membrane in. And then I'm assuming, is this just like plugged in there? Yeah, okay. It was just kind of plugged in there. That's fine. So what's next? What's next? Putting this thing back in here. All right. Let's do this one first. Okay. So far, fairly painless, man. Just got to be careful. Everything's looking good so far. Now let's try to get this back on here. I think we may be good. We'll get the new batteries in a second. See if this thing still works. So finally, I found some batteries that actually had some juice in them and got this thing powered on. So fairly painless process. You just got to be careful. That's about it, like with that speaker. Everything is functioning just fine. Got games on here. I guess whatever game loaded a game on this thing. Looks like I got Seaman. I have no idea what this is, but okay, we got an egg, food, whatever. But hey, I'm happy this worked. I didn't necessarily need to use this or to, swap my shells because the ones I have are perfectly fine, but it's really cool that these things are available out there. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description. Like, I mean, if you want one to color match your system, that makes sense. But I wouldn't really do this unless I needed to, you know what I mean? Like, I prefer the original shells. But if you got some damaged ones, yeah, why not swap them out? But there you go. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Bye.